Okay, perfect. So with this workbench, I wanted to show you what are the capacities of 3Design concerning high jewelry. And I wanted to start first with our advanced pave function directly on the toucan and show you how I can do a proper advanced pave with all the improvements we created for this impressive function we have in 3Design. So let's start with this area. I will show you how to create the pave automatically and manually and see how we can mix the two modes together. So first of all, I select the toucan, so you have this object directly selected in my tree, and then I access to the advanced pave. So we decided to develop advanced pave feature to be able to give to our users the possibility to put automatically and manually stones according to them diameter and all the constraints you have in stone settings and the position of stones directly on the objects. So the first thing I have to do concerning the steps, I need to select the area where I want to put my stones. So it will be from this tab. I just have to click on Test Frontiers mode, and you have to select with Control the faces which compose the area. In the Advanced Pave, you have also the possibility to set a gap between the frontiers you have, so it means the limits of this area, and the stones which will be positioned on the frontier. So for the moment I have 0.1, but I can change it after. So automatically the software will show me the visual frontier I have in blue there. You have the possibility to display the frontier without to be blocked on this line. So it's up to you. You can even keep that one. And if I select this option, I have visually the frontier, but I can even position my stone in case I want to be a little bit inside the frontier to be sure that my pave is it fits what I need exactly. So when I have my frontiers and the area, you have two options. The first one will be to position manually my stones according to the diameter. If I want to have more options concerning the diameter, you have in V10 now the possibility to display the distances between the positions. You can display also the diameter directly inside the stone you created. We have also the possibility to display the collision, but I will come back on that one later. That one will be for me a good clue according to the diameter and the colors. If I want to organize my position by colors, it can be also useful for the user to have the color according to the diameter. And you can click this option to display the color or not. If you prefer to have only the diameter displaying the position. So with that, I just have to drag and drop the stones, and you can see that automatically we have the distances displayed according to the number of neighbors I have. So I will have maximum 6 distances around the selected position, and you have also the maximum distance in case you don't want to have too much information on the scene. So you can change the maximum distance there. If you want to have a little bit of transparency on the model, you can also change it, and you can even make it disappear if you want to have only the edges of the object and you prefer to work like that. This can be efficient in case you want to display the stones and you want to see inside if you don't have collisions between the stones, And this can be an option you have there if you want to display them always when you add the diameter. I just have to click there, always visible, and when I add another stones, you have the stones display, the diameter inside, and the distance. So it's up to you. So this is really efficient because I have the diameter, I have also the distances, I can change whenever I want the diameter, and you have the display which changes in the same time, and you can readjust and continue to add the position on your area. Something which can be also useful if you want, for example, to change the 1.6 diameter, and you don't want to change them manually. It means that, for example, you have the 1.6, they are well positioned, but you want to try with something which is smaller or bigger. We have now the possibility to select, in double clicking in the list, the same positions, I mean the same diameter, and then through the diameter increment, this option, you have now the possibility to increase or decrease the diameter from this increment, which is 0.1. So if you want to have bigger, you just have to click on the arrows, this arrow, which goes upward, and downward if you want to have smaller stones, which can be fast in the process if you have after to change the position like that. You don't have to change the position one by one. You can also use a new shortcut we have in the advanced pave. This shortcut allows you to change with the tab key the tools you have on the top right. According to the tab you see, you have the possibility to navigate between the tools which allow you to change the size, the position, etc. And I can switch between, for example, the move. I use tab, I change the diameter, and then I move again. Through this new user experience, you have something which is more smooth in the process, because you just have to position the stone, you change with the tab the diameter, and then you come back and you move. It's big time saving when you have to position manually the stones. So if I have to test and if I want to use the automatic pave, you have another option which is really efficient also. This automatic pave, you have this mode in the last tab in the option, and we have the pave which is snow setting. We have plenty of strategies like straight, concentric, you can work on a curve, but I'm interested with the snow setting for this project. So I will click on that, and first I will remove all the stones I created. I just want to have a new pave from this automatic mode. So I have to select which sizes I want to apply on the automatic calculation. 1 millimeter. You can also add the number you want if you want to limit the number of stones you want to have on 1 millimeter. But for my side, I want to leave the software calculate, so this is why I had a huge number of stones. And I will do the same for different sizes like 1.2 and 1.3, and let's say that I want to have also 0.9. Voila. From that, I just have to click on pave. Automatically, the software will calculate the pave. I just have to say that I want to work on that one. Yeah, I forgot to remove this option. This is why I have the position outside of the frontier. So I don't want to keep the frontier display without blocking my positions. I want my positions inside, so I recompute the pave again. everything is inside. So through this automatic pave, I have something which is almost good, but I want to change manually some positions, and I want to be sure that I cover the entire area. So we have a little trick for that. If you want to try with other sizes, you have this possibility. I will select the entire list of stone, so I don't want to display the distances. Voilà. And I will use the diameter increment to have something which is bigger. And I have an automatic calculation with a specific mode in the advanced pave now, which gives me the possibility to put the stones outer or inner. So I just have to click, and automatically I can click on this button until the software calculates something which is convenient for me. So I can put them inside like that or outside, and it reorganizes properly the stones. So according to this mode, which is the diameter increment, my stones are bigger, and from that I can put them outer or inner to be sure that the software gives me another calculation. So you see, you can click and click and click till you have something which is convenient for you. And even if you have to add or if you have to modify something like that one, you feel that you can move that one and you can add another one on 1 millimeter. Sorry, not that one. So I can go back. I will put plus and I can add that one, which will be in this position. So even if I calculated something automatic, I can even modify, I can even remove that one if I don't like that one. And you can add another one manually. So this is in two steps. First, I calculate the automatic way, and then I readjust with a new organization from this automatic pave. So if you have any other questions concerning the pave, again, we have a Q&A session in 30 minutes. So I can show you again, according to the question you have, another example. Okay. So with this creation, I wanted to show you that this is possible with 3DESIGN and 3Shaper to modify an honeycomb you created automatically. So this is a dedicated options we have in 3DESIGN. These options allows you to create honeycomb automatically according to pave you created before, as I showed you. So I selected my pave and I created automatically this honeycomb with properties I have inside. So you can select the thickness between each objects created. You can select the curve you have for the border, etc., etc. According to the shape of the creation and according to the complexity of the object, sometimes you will have to readjust. It means that, for example, you are not happy with these objects, you want them to be bigger, maybe you want to follow in another way the curve or the border you have. So through good trick we have and a good option we have in 3Shaper, you will have the possibility first to calculate the honeycomb, and then in selected the honeycomb And if you access to the 3Shaper module, the software is asking if I want to import the shape, because I can import the entire Honeycomb and I can change the 3D object, or I can import the function. It means that the software will analyze each object and transform them into quadrilateral. It means that we will have subdivision surfaces for one object, 4 sides, and from these surfaces we will be able to modify, remove, or add new objects which compose my honeycomb. So I want to say import the function. Yes, I want to have the support solid because I want to work directly on the object I created, and I validate. So you can see that now each objects are transformed into surface, and I can modify again the surfaces with the same option I used this morning for the creation of the seahorse, the retopology. Retopology allows me to work directly on a 3D object, which is currently the object you have in gray. And you have now the possibility to modify the created points from the automatic honeycomb, and I can change them manually. So it means that if I'm not happy with this shape, I can modify the points. So it's up to you. You can display or not the created object. And with the transparency, you can see where you are exactly according to the created pave. So this can be a good advantage in case you want to readjust the created object from the honeycomb function. So as I said, you can modify the position of the points like that. Or if you want, you can also remove. If you are not happy with this shape, you can remove that one and also that one. And I can create mine in clicking. It's really easy to do. I just have to select the connection for the first points, and I click on the surface, and automatically the surface will be created on the support, which is my object in gray. So I can add also more objects with faces there. So I'm following the shape, and then I can readjust like that, just to have something which is more voilà. So something which is powerful is that if you want to see what is the result, you have now again the history tree. I can show the first result, which is the automatic honeycomb. I just have to recalculate, and through the associativity, automatically the software will replace all my modifications. You can see the calculation on the top, and you will have new objects for the honeycomb. So this is something you can do. By the way, if you want, you can also transform the edges in red edges, because you can see that I can decide if I want to have rounded shapes or if I want to have straight shapes. Remember, I showed you that this morning. So I just have to come back in this, and then I transform my edges into sharp edges, and I recompute. So it's up to you if you want to have something rounded or if you want to have sharp objects. So automatically you don't have to come back in the 3DESIGN. You can stay in 3Shaper, and you have the possibility to modify everything you want with the retopology function. So then I can come back in 3Design and I can modify again my pave, or I can do a Boolean operation. I can put my prongs on it. So it's really useful when you have something which is really hard to do, especially this piece of high jewelry. You have the possibility to change every time manually what the software calculated automatically, like the pave, the honeycomb, or another example I will show you just after that, to be sure that everything is controlled by yourself, to be sure that you have the exact design, or you respect the constraints you have with the stone setting or the ajour for high jewelry creation. So let me show you another example. Je vois pas s'il y a des questions. No. So we have a lot of users, 3Design users. They are really happy with the automatic features we have in 3Design, especially to create close settings. You know that we can, and even if you don't know, I will show you what are the possibilities. I would like, in fact, to create something from the wizards we have in Gemstone settings. So I want to create two bells, and I will create a second close. And I will show you that, again, if you are not completely satisfied with the result, you can create and you can modify everything in 3Shaper. So again, 3Shaper will be something you can use in case you want to modify the shape, in case you want to add something according to your jeweler experience or high jewelry experience, and you know that you have to move a little bit the top of the claw, or if you have to modify or deform just a little bit the belt to fit perfectly with the jewelry constraints. So for that, this is something you can do with 3Design. Again, you can create something from the stone automatically, and you can go directly on 3Shaper if you have to do a modification. Okay, so if I select the stone, I use the belt there. Automatically, I will have the two belts created. I want them to be squared, not rounded, so I click on that one. And for the second one, I will click on squared also. And then I will change the position of that one. So these are almost the result I want, but I want to modify maybe a little bit the position, or if I want to deform, or if I want to do something specific on the two belts. This is something I will import. I can import in 3Shaper to be sure that I respect and I can control the entire project. So I have my two belts, and I want to create also two claws according to the stone. So for the moment I have 4 automatically, but I want to have only 2. So I can decide to have standard position, and I want to create also my own shape from this section. So I select my sketch. So I have a triangle shape for the moment, but if you want, you can modify it according to the sketch you selected. You see we have customized a custom section there, and I can change also the size of them, and I want to have them a little bit curved like that. It's too much. Voilà. And that one also. So from that, it's really easy to do. But for example, I want to modify a little bit the shape of the belt, and I don't have the entire control on the clothes. So I want to modify them to get something like that, for example, just to be sure I fit with the exact project and all the technical constraints I have for the creation. So I select my object like that. So the two belts plus the clothes, and I access directly to 3Shaper. So automatically you can see that it transforms my objects into subdivision surfaces, and then I can access to the edit surface, and I can organize my project. For example, the two belts, I want them to be red, and that one I want it to be yellow, and another color for that one. So this allows me to be focused, for example, on the two clothes for the moment, so I can make them transparent, and I can continue my job. So it means that I can select the edges through this option. I can do the exact same thing on the other one. I can create my split, then I can have these edges from the middle. This allows me, for example, to move, or I can even do like an extrusion if I want to have up that one. I will move it, it will be better according to that plane, or I can also change the orientation if you want to be perfectly aligned to the stones. You can change, you see, the position of that one. So this can be down. I can change also if you want to make them smaller, you can modify them in using, for example, the moving also. You see, you can make them smaller or bigger. If you want, you can also remove some lines you don't need. So if you want to be maybe, not that one, sorry. Voila, I just have to select that. And I put in. This allows me to control according to the precision you have when you export or import the objects. You have more or less lines. It's up to you according to what you have to do exactly. It can be decided before you import the object. Voila, so you can play with that. I can come back in the orange and yellow, which are my belts. So you can also play with the fillet. You have a dedicated function for the fillet inside. So you see we can put a fillet on that one, and you can put a fillet on that one also. So remember that the good thing is that even if you created an object in 3Design, you can whenever import the object in 3Shaper. To modify it, you can apply a specific modification. You can make the edges, the sharp edges in normal edges if you want to make the object rounded, like for example on that position. Okay. Voila. So it gives you the entire control. So it makes more natural the job if you have to control exactly what you have to do, especially for a high jewelry project when you know that you have specific constraint and you have to be super precise when you create this kind of close settings, for example. So we still have plenty of tips and tricks in 3Design. So if you have questions, if you want to see a specific project, you can contact the person who is in charge of your area or your country, and we can speak after that to see what are the specific projects you wanted to work on 3Design. If you want to send us picture, or if you have technical issues with the existing version on 3Design, feel free to contact us on the email that Ocean gave you on the chat, and we will come back with pleasure as soon as possible. Thank you. So now we speak about the special offer. So I will transfer the j'ai pas le. Tu peux lancer le go live.